I am on my way to drive a 2025/2024 Model Y. There's no difference between those 2 years in the vehicle, and this is a 2026 Model Y Juniper. It's the launch edition. So I'm going to drive them back to back to see if there is a difference and if it's worth upgrading, paying a premium for the new Model Y Juniper, or is it smart to take advantage of the inventory of the pre-existing Model Y? I don't know. I guess we're gonna see here. I'm gonna do a sound test of this thing right here. I'm gonna drive both of them. I'm gonna talk about dimensions. I'm gonna do some measurements, show the differences between the two of them. This thing is really solid, and it has the 20-inch wheels. Suspension and everything feels excellent. Some of the bigger bumps I'm hitting, it does feel different, but driving them back to back will absolutely give us those answers. So that's where I'm going right now. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do a comparison of this is the 2024 Model Y. This is an Austin build, and then this is the 2026 Model Y. This is a Fremont build, and I'm gonna show you the difference between the two and then drive them. This has the 19-inch Gemini wheels on them with the Scorpion all-season tires, and then this has the Ion Evo all-seasons with the 20-inch wheels. So I'm curious to see how the ride quality is comparing the 20-inch wheels to the previous generation most comfortable 19-inch wheels. Now, obviously up front, there's been major changes here. It's really cool. You can see you have the little slit up front here, whereas previously that was blocked off right there. And then you have the light bar up front, which in my opinion looks incredible in comparison to the old ones. But some people say that these look more sporty. Personally, I think this looks really cool. The most shocking thing to me is this has no logo in the front. There is no logo. It's almost like the Cybertruck. It kind of lets the light bar signify what it is from the front of the vehicle. So another thing to note as this airplane passes, hopefully that landing gear is all set up correctly. As you can see right here, the mirrors are slightly different. So here's the old mirror, and then this new one here, you can see there's this little design right there. So lots of different differences. I'm totally losing my mind. And then they also have a squared off glass in the back. Let's zoom out. So you can see we're squared off in this corner, or rounded in this corner here, and we have the square glass back here. And you can also see that this is one huge piece back here, but now on the new one, the Juniper model, it's separated right here. So they've redesigned the back of this car to be cheaper to repair from rear ends. So I think that's really cool. I don't know of another manufacturer that's done that. Maybe they do it, they just don't report it. But either way, it's a really cool feature. Now I'm gonna show you the difference between. Now let's take a look at the Frunks. All right, so I did a few measurements there off camera with my, look at that, Sears. Dude, that's a throwback to the 90s, God bless it. So the main difference with the Frunk here, there's two main differences. One, this shape right here, okay, so this is a little more squared off, whereas we come over to the other one here, there's more of an angle here, okay? So you have that difference, plus this little lip down here, and there's more of a consistent lip around the edge of this one. But the huge advantage is you have a drain plug now. So you can fill this with water or whatever, ice. You could fill it with ice, put drinks or whatever in this for a tailgate, and then pop this out and let it drain out of the bottom of the vehicle. So I think that's cool. Let's actually pour some water in there and see where it comes out. All right, so here we go. Water test. There it is, baby. Yeah. Let's see if that, yeah, that's it. All right, verified. If someone ever asks me if I've been to the Fremont factory, I'll say no, but I've tasted it. This joke of the day is brought to you by T-Parts. T-Parts is a Tesla-specific accessories company, and they already have accessories out for the Juniper 2025/2026 model. So whether you're looking to add a new carbon spoiler to your new or old Model Y, or 3, or maybe some of these leather headrest pillows that will just knock you out while you're charging, T-Parts has you covered. Also, of all of the splash guards I have tested, T-Parts seems to make the best one because the bottom of it is rubberized, so they won't break off when they scrape off of something. So the mud flaps, the carbon spoiler, the neck pillows, the list goes on from there, and they also have the tempered glass screen protectors, which is very popular for a lot of people. Check out tparts.com and use code Gjeebs at checkout to save 10% on your order. All right, hope you enjoyed the Joke of the Day sponsored segment, but now we have this change as well. So this is where the windshield wiper fluid goes in on the new one, and then the old one, it was located up here. So the new one, just a much easier location. So now let's move down the vehicle. Now again, this has hardware 4 in it, but so does this. So you're getting the same type of camera quality and processor quality in both of these vehicles. That's what I like to point out to people, because these are such technology-focused cars that it's important to know that what you're getting from a technology standpoint. So that's important. We've kind of gone over the differences in the rear of the car. I actually really liked how this Model Y always looked from the back. Now this newer one here, much different. I mean, look at that plastic lip off the back, but I also like that this is a beveled type of plastic, because this can be durable and it's probably not that expensive to replace. I say that having no knowledge of what it costs to replace this. But I think they've done a really nice job with it. Again, it's just more squared off, and then this look right here, that is just a really unique look, plus the duck-tailed spoiler off the back, whereas here it's just slightly different. So everything is really solid. You can even see, just noticed a little paint defect there. Look at that. It's kind of not good. But and these things are also so, like, Tesla's under such a microscope for, oh, look at this paint thing. And then you look at, you know, a Mercedes, and they have a lot of the same issues with paint. Overall, though, they look really well, and what matters is how they drive. So we're going to talk about that here shortly. Let's open up the trunk. Launch edition badging. Another huge difference here is how the rear of this is set up. So on this one, you have this button right here, which you pull, and the seat flings down. On the new one, it will go down and back up. So I tap that once, and the seat folds down totally flat. The front seat, if you saw it move there, actually moves forward to give you more space, and then comes back into its previous position. So then when I press this again, that goes and folds up. So again, little luxury features that they've added. Overall, the car is a lot of the same, just meeting the eye, but the small technology updates they've done are really meaningful. There's also a notch down here to store this trunk cover. So if you go over to the previous one, you can see it has the shelf for the trunk cover, but when you open this up, there is nowhere to actually store it. Now, they've said that the new Model Y has a wider trunk opening to it. I just measured. The only measurement I'm getting that is noticeably wider is from this point right here. The widest entrance is a 1/2 inch wider on this newer one. So everything else seems to kind of be the same. It looks like, as I'm looking at them side by side, it looks like this has more space here than this one, but it really doesn't measure any different. It's less than a 1/2 inch. So it may be wider, but not significant. So the storage in these things has always been really good, and they've just slightly improved it on the new one, because they did have so much is right. That's why this is the best-selling car in the world. So much is right about it. They just needed to refine what was already really good. And now, see, like this, right here. Look at this material. So this is why you're not hearing as much of the echo across the entire car. If we come over to here, it's just hard plastic. So that is all adding up to the reasons why, like when you get in a older Model Y, I can hear my voice echoing in it. And it's little upgrades like that that I'm starting to notice all around the vehicle. Even like right here, look at how nice this seal is where the carpet tucks in. This looks like kind of Model S quality. When you come over to the older one, again, more hard plastic. And this isn't a problem, but again, they're looking at every little aspect of the car and trying to find ways to make it better. And they've done that, and it feels that way. So they've also, in the rear of the car, I'll see if I can feel this, they've extended the rear seat in the new Model Y by 1.7 centimeters. So this way, 1.7 centimeters this way. Okay, so that, I mean, I've always liked the back seats of these. Seats feel good, soft, comfortable. Let's hop over to my latest worst financial decision and see how this feels. Yeah, you just feel that there's 1.7 more centimeters of space here. As far as the seat material goes, this feels a little firmer. You have heated seats in the back. A big thing is you have cooled seats in the front of this, automatically cooled seats, and they feel great. I was even, on my drive over here, I didn't have the air conditioning running, and I felt, and my back started to get warm. The second I thought that, the automatic cooled seats turned on, so that was just kind of a funny coincidence. But the rear of the car here, now you have this 8-inch high-definition touchscreen in the back, so that is just a really nice feature for entertainment. You can connect 2 Bluetooth devices here, so you have 2 children back here. They can both be listening or watching something while you're being unbothered up front. Because as a parent, what you realize is your vacation, on vacation, is when you're charging the car, when you step out of the car and you're alone for 3 seconds, when you're driving. That's your vacation. When you get to vacation, it's back to work. So, so that's kind of nice. The seat quality, seat feel in the back, a little firmer, but really nice materials that they're now using with the perforated leather. You can already see there's some type of scuff here. As far as the seat color, I've always been adamant about getting white seats if you want them, because you can clean them. In the earlier Model 3s and Ys, those white seats, I mean, mine have been filthy and they clean up perfect every time. I've used the Hydrosilix interior cleaner, then I ceramic coat it. And by the way, to those of you who still use that stuff, 25% off, code Gjeebs March. And then if you're watching this in April, code Gjeebs April. Saves you 25% off. I've been using their stuff for 4 years and it's excellent. That's what I use to clean the seats. I stand by it, it's excellent. In these new ones, it's tough. So I would immediately ceramic coat your seats. I'll have the ceramic coating linked down below. But this, the black, I just didn't want the staining of the white. And I never said that before, but having a Model 3 with the white interior, it's harder to clean. So I'm not saying it stains and it's permanent, but it's harder to clean. So just something to note. Other, new material here, the ambient lighting strip right here, and then the Alcantara or suede down here. Justin's come back to collect his car. So it's all very nice what they've done. All right, so Justin's ripping my car apart, but we're just checking out just the new clips that they have here, and everything is covered up with the HEPA filter. So it's a really clean look, but also harder to access if you're looking to service anything or change a filter.
And
but
this lineup right here, this is new. This
oh yeah,
lineup.
That's a nice.
So if you misput it back together, you're gonna break something.
Yeah, but it is nice. It gives you some direction.
It actually voids your warranty if you do this.
Oh, perfect. So we're set. Yeah, so that all clips in.
It's much better built though.
Yes.
Like this is.
Oh yeah, that's now. See, you can tell it's in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at the hinges. So the hinges are different. These always popped off in the previous ones.
So the hood can come off of this.
Look at that.
You see that? Look at this. This can come off. It's a completely.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, all kinds of. I mean, it's over 50% new parts.
I just don't understand like this.
Another difference I've noticed here that we just found is this little light. I'm assuming this is for when your trunk is up, all the lights are up in the air, and then down here you'll have that to signify to oncoming drivers that there's a car here. So if you go over to the old Model Y, you have this reflector, which that Model Y has as well, but there's no light integration here. So I think that is a cool feature, and this is on both sides.
You can see it. My crazier is just the different heights too.
That
yeah,
might
you can
be
tell.
different. All right, so Justin just pointed something out. So he has dealt with hundreds of Teslas in his fleet. He can speak to problems that tons of cars have, not just like a one-off situation. So show us what they've done here.
So the most common thing we see with the trunk alignment, and we probably have a car over there we could show you, the left side of your trunk starts like coming out, and you can see it's not even. Tesla will fix it under warranty. It's a really common thing, but it's because on the older ones, the motor is just on one side. This is from my understanding of how the system works. So it's only torquing on one side, and that one is just like a free-flowing lever, so it can go up naturally. This one, it looks like it has, I can't confirm obviously, but it looks like it has power to both sides. So it's gonna be torquing on both sides. So I think that's makes it less likely for that to be like coming out and making it uneven, because we could show you multiple cars where the trunk's just like horrendous. Looks like it's been an accident, but it's just because the trunk is peeling away from like the actual frame. But that's a big difference. I think that will make the trunk issue that everyone has go away.
So what you're looking at right here, this is what the rideshare drivers have issues with, because they're constantly loading suitcases and things into the back from airport runs. So this is what we're talking about. It over torques it, but Tesla does fix it under warranty. They know it's a problem.
Even if it's outside of my oldest warranty in the first DK, they fixed it for us.
Yeah, so they will fix it, and now looks like they've fixed it on the newer Tesla Model Y. Here's a look at the new Model 3. So again, you can see power here, and power over here. So it looks like they've fixed that issue. That should be on the older Model 3s and Ys, but now you know. Another thing I just picked up on, this is just a minute attention to detail, but I like it. So you have a lighter colored wheel, and then you have this lighter colored valve stem cap. So that's cool. On the older ones, you can see it was actually dark, even though the wheel underneath is light. Although this slit right here is dark, so I guess that makes sense, but just another minor difference. It's a nice, get a nice grip on that thing to lock the air in. Now this has been covered by many people, but they now have a front-facing camera, which is so helpful when you're parking. I just think that is the best way to do it because you can see exactly what's in front of you and make sure you're not hitting anything. On the previous versions, that was just their Tesla Vision, so it would use the sensors and you would just get these weird things. The camera system is absolutely the way to go. So I'm driving the 2024 Model Y right now, and as I showed you earlier, it has the 19-inch wheels on it. So this is going to be the most comfortable option if you're looking to get the previous version of the Tesla Model Y. And we're driving actually over a pretty rough road. I don't feel like we're in America right now. But the road's pretty rough here, and just coming out audibly, you can hear a lot more in the vehicle. Even my voice has a little bit more of an echo to it through the vehicle. So, and I'm not even driving at speed, and I haven't even been in the car that long, so it's pretty shocking. With that said, with the money that you're saving by going with one of these that's in inventory or one of these that's already been used for a few years is significant, and I would just get one that's a 2023 or newer that has the Ryzen chip in it. So as long as you have that, then you're future-proofing yourself to have all of the current software updates, you have better cameras and all of that stuff. So then you have a pretty similar car. The efficiency isn't quite as good, but it's close. If you're looking for the best ride quality, you have to go with the 19-inch wheels and put the wheel covers on to get the most amount of efficiency. But overall, I mean, it feels good. The seats definitely feel a little different. The seats in the newer one are a little stiffer. There's a little bit more shape where your butt is, a little speed bump there. Yeah, the suspension feels good. Oh shit, road closed. We're good?
Local traffic.
Well, we're local. Yeah. We're locals. And I don't think Justin's on the camera right now, but he owns EV Access. So if you're, oh, this road is really closed.
I think you can go.
I'll have his website linked below, and they do VIN allocation. So if you're renting a Model 3, you're going to get a Model 3. You're not going to get a car that's like a Model 3. Or if you want a Mustang Mach-E or a Model Y or whatever. They have all kinds of cars. The BMW i4s that I've driven before, excellent. They have those. So I will have their website linked below. If you're coming to Phoenix, that is the place to rent from. This Model Y, yeah, it feels good. I'm curious to get then back in mine and see how it actually is. But if we ever get out of this apartment complex we're currently in, I am going to do a sound test on the same section of road going the same speed, and we'll start in this Model Y to see what the difference is. Now we are going to do the sound test. We're gonna go 45 miles per hour on the same strip of road. Sound difference there is, because it is significant. One thing I've noticed, this has a shift stock for the turn signals. The shift stock doesn't feel, it feels numb. There's no click or point that tells you that you fully turned it on. It's just it's a linear feel. It's very weird. All right, so let's see what kind of
decibels we're gonna get.
All right, 53, 55, 54-ish. We need to get onto a smoother road. So I did a max test. So I'm gonna go over the same section of road. I think it was, I can't remember what I just saw, 63.4, I think. So let's do it now, that same section of road over the same bumps, and see what it is in the old Model Y, see what the max is. I think that's gonna be the best way to test it for a road with the uneven surfaces. It's amazing, like this car is solid, but there's so much echo in here. The closing of the door, it's cheap feeling. The seats kind of grab you a little bit more on the side. The side bolstering's a little bit tighter. You can feel your cheeks being grabbed a little bit. So that's interesting. I'm just noticing little subtle differences between both of them. Not that one's better than the other, but just differences. The quality of the cabin on the new one is, the sound is remarkably better in the NVH, the stuff that comes up through the suspension, all the feedback. On the new one, is so much better. Actually shocked, because I've always felt that with the 19-inch wheels that solves a lot of your problems, and it does, but my goodness, it's just showing how different the new one is. So there's the proof right there. Over that section of road, it was 3 decibels louder in this older Model Y for a max decibel sound test. 3 decibels, to my understanding, because I have some audio files that follow the channel, and I appreciate the education you've given to me. And I feel like an audio file is the only good file you can be. They have explained to me that 3 decibels is a doubling, audibly is double, it's a doubling of the sound audibly. So it's twice as loud in this thing. And that is crazy. So we just did some real science here, folks. We got you the facts, 66 decibels compared to 63. So that's a big difference. And then just, again, I'm hearing myself echo. So the changes are real. Now that we've driven the old Model 3 around, we're gonna jump back in mine and see what the final differences are in comparison to both of these. I'm also gonna be doing, I have a ton of videos and comparisons coming, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because there's just gonna be a ton. Every aspect of this car is going to be covered in depth and compared to other vehicles that you may be shopping for. So I'd appreciate your subscription. It's free. Back into my Model Y. It's overall, as I've said many times in this video, it's tighter. It's really well done. I can't say that enough. Everyone who drives this car is going to be satisfied. And I'm also in the 20-inch wheels, so with the 19-inch wheels, it's going to ride slightly better. But I wouldn't tell someone, hey, make sure you get the 20s or get the 19s for the ride quality. Get whatever wheel you like that looks best. The biggest benefit now with the smaller wheels is the fact that you're going to get more range out of it. And I will be doing range tests in the future. So yeah, the seats feel really nice. The cooled seats are so nice. It's like a relief on your back. You just don't even realize the back sweat, the stank that comes out of you. You know, this car will make you smell less. I mean, who else is doing that for you? I guess every company that's making cooled seats. I'm happy I was able to drive those back to back and really see and feel the differences. So it is a difference. Is it worth it? Well, it depends. I mean, you could get a Model Y for $35,000 or $40,000 very lightly used. You could probably even do it with a tax credit for that same price for a brand new one. It's still a very good car, but if you want that new and this, I mean, it's really well done. It is worth it if you care. So it is a difference. Everything about this is better. It just costs a lot right now. So wait for the launch series to move on here, unless that's what you want, a special edition Tesla, which I've been asking for years, so it's cool it's here. So is it worth it? It's going to be worth it when it's not a launch edition, because then it'll be a $52,000 to $45,000 car. And at that price point, okay, now I would say, yeah, you got to get the new one because it's great. They might have different financing options. So I always try to think about the money part of it, because so many people get themselves into trouble here buying cars. I don't count myself in that because I'm making YouTube videos. I'm making a return on these. It's totally different. Don't do what I do. Do as I say. So we'll leave you on that quote from Jesus, and I will see you next time. Give me a follow on X or Instagram, and check this video out right here. If you enjoyed the video you just currently watched, you'll enjoy this one as well.